So namaste and welcome to Satsang this evening here in the UK, whatever time it is for you. So in Satsang, we're gathered here for the most important reason of all, which is to recognize who we are. And not only to recognize that, but to come to live as that, which is the most important of all. And the only real way to actually come to live as who we are is first of all to recognize it and then to practice simply being it. And that might sound strange if we recognize we already are this truth. Why do we need to practice being it? Well, because we're so used to pretending to be something else, pretending to be someone who's alone and isolated in the world, trying to make their way through life and towards whatever purpose, and of course, here towards awakening. But it's really awakening that awakens to itself in this journey. Enlightenment recognizes itself as enlightenment. The infinite self recognizes that it's always been infinite, never finite, never limited, and never separate to anything, but appearing as everything. And so the way that we're going to practice that is through some meditation. We're going to connect with the sense of being, just being. And just a few words before we dive into meditation. If we enter meditation with the purpose of achieving something, we're going to find that we're restless and we're disturbed. Instead, if we can enter meditation with the purpose of recognizing the beingness, the being that is the source of everyone here in this satsang, we can begin to find a much more effortless way. So we're just tuning in to notice what's already here. There's something about you already that is just being. Your body, your mind, like this one, is doing, it's moving. The mind might be thinking, the body might be moving, but there's something that's not doing. There's something that's just being. That which watches the doingness is just being. All it can do is watch. All it can do is see. So we're just going to practice for 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to call it meditation, but it's really just a recognition of something that's already and always here. So we're only shifting attention away from the mind and the body temporarily because they can run themselves quite well by themselves. Doesn't need us to get involved in that. And bringing attention back to what is just being. So we start this in a very simple way. You can get yourself nice and comfy, and you don't have to sit in any position at all. There's no specific special way. Just making sure that you're as comfy as you can be. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed, whichever you prefer is absolutely okay. And let's begin by just taking a few nice deep breaths in and out. Just in and out at your own pace. But as you're breathing in, just allowing not only your chest, but your belly, your abdomen to move as well. So that you're breathing with the chest and the belly. And then when you exhale, as you exhale, just a gentle little squeeze, just the tiniest squeeze of the abdomen, just to expel the air. So we're just using our lungs like bellows, and we're just doing this, breathing in and breathing out at your own pace. Remembering that we're simply going to discover what is already here about us, that which is already free and isn't on a journey at all. So just allowing the body to keep breathing by itself at its own pace. And noticing that which is just here, just the sense of being, just the fact that you're here, just being. Before any thoughts about having to do this meditation or not getting it right or enjoying it or any sensations of restlessness or anything like that. We're just going to notice that which just is. So just noticing that which is just here. It's not a thing, a phenomenon, an object that you could see. You're not an object. Pure beingness before form, just beingness. And we don't need to do any kind of technique here. Only instruction is that when attention wanders away to some thought, some movement, some energy, some sound in your environment, that you simply bring it back when you notice and when you can to the beingness itself. We don't need attention to stay on the being. It will wander away again to a interesting thought or whatever sensation is going on in the body. We're just gently favoring being more interested in beingness itself than what is moving and changing in the mind, the body, and the environment we're in. And there is no goal here. Nothing to achieve, nothing to do. Just noticing the beingness as often as we can. Beingness is here before anything else, before any movement. Beingness is here. Before any change. Beingness is not becoming anything. It's not making progress. It just is. We're just allowing our attention to feast on the sense of being. Just being. And if the attention has wandered to a thought or a sensation or an experience, simply bringing it back to the sense of being, just being. Taking refuge in the beingness itself, where there is no doing or undoing. Noticing the beingness relaxes the body and the mind. Just enjoying simply being. This beingness is what you are. So, in a few moments, we'll bring this meditation to a close. But before we do, let's set the intention not to go immediately back to the sense of doing, the sense of rushing, the sense of trying. What if we finish this meditation, but also not really, and we're just being together here in Satsang. So whenever you are ready, whenever you want to, opening your eyes, having a stretch, having a move around if you want to. So in that meditation, we had a little taste of just resting as beingness. What beingness is, we don't need to know even. We can't really know. It's not an actual thing. You're not something that can be defined. We can only describe our body and minds. We can't describe the beingness itself, except to say what it's not, what it isn't. We can say that it isn't definable, it isn't visible, it isn't tangible, it isn't audible, it isn't doing anything, it isn't transcending anything. It doesn't need to let go of anything. It doesn't have any goals or plans. It simply is. And paradoxically, when we rest in that beingness, as that beingness, more and more, everything gets done, everything gets planned, everything gets arranged, everything gets transcended or let go of. So I hope you enjoyed the meditation. I would really recommend 20 minutes like we did each day as a habit of meditation, and to make that a consistent habit as much as you can each day in the same time and the same place, as much as is possible. And we're simply swapping around this habit of always recognizing, bringing attention to what is moving and changing first, and favoring more the beingness itself, just gently. We're not pushing anything away, we're just favoring the beingness in which everything else is moving. So, if anyone has any questions or needs any help with anything to do with awakening, I invite you to raise your hand here on Zoom. We also have live Spanish translation tonight. If you want to ask me a question as well, feel free to raise your hand here. Okay, we'll go with Keith.
Good morning, at least it's morning where I am.
Good morning to you.
Uh, yeah, that was very relaxing. I like the idea. I'm always curious though that I've heard people say this is a pathless path, like there isn't really steps to get there. But then if you say to meditate every day, aren't you saying, well, if you want to get there, you have to meditate
Meditation,
every. I mean, I guess I always wanted you to be able to give me that magic touch, like Eckhart Tolle, the instant overnight awakening.
but
But
if I could give that to you, your mind would
yeah.
take it and do something with it, right? Most likely. The meditation is more
Love to
about,
find out.
yeah. Meditation is more about stopping being what we're not.
Hmm.
all the attention goes to the phenomenal aspect of you, right? The body and the mind. So in meditation, we're just bringing attention back to that which is already free, already awakened, and gently taking attention away from that which is desperately trying to awaken, but never can.
Mm. Yes, I guess that's right. Yes, I guess it goes back to that part of me that says, yes, I've got to get this. I'm going to join Helen's Satsang and I'm going to get it today. Today's the day.
Today's the big day. Yeah, I am going to get it. Yeah. But then just noticing something is just still watching, even if you had a big epiphany right now, right here, something would still be watching that, that is always here and always free.
Hmm.
Perhaps
I
awakening
guess
is the
I
favorite
don't,
of that, you know.
yeah, I guess I don't meditate on a daily basis. So maybe I'm gonna,
It's
but it's
it
different to what you're saying is different to like meditating on mantra or something, but just being with just, I don't know,
yeah,
just,
the
I
work,
know I can feel that sense of being.
yeah, wonderful. The meditation we do here is not on any object. You know, so sometimes when we start our journey, we might meditate on a candle flame or
Mm.
some object, and then eventually on a subtle object like the breath
Mm.
moving. But then eventually where we end up is meditating on that which is formless, is without form. We call it beingness here tonight, but we could call it anything.
Mm.
And only that is going to ultimately satisfy us, that which is already free. Noticing that about us, noticing that we're already free. There's something here that doesn't even need to become free. It's already just here and as it is.
I mean, I've noticed subtle differences. I have less sort of anxiety, less worry about things that go wrong don't bother me so much anymore. So
Yeah. That's how it was
my
for me.
mind
But
doesn't obsess on things that go wrong and oh, I should have done it differently. And my dad was right all along. I never amount to it. Those are the things that they stop. I just don't get into that anymore. And that's a miracle in itself.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
For me, I remember the first time an intense trigger happened and there is all this emotion and all these crazy thoughts and something I just couldn't grab a hold of that or do anything with it. It
Mm.
just was it was just happening, and
Yeah.
there was no need to do anything about it, or even the recognition that I can't and I don't need to. As beingness, I'm unaffected by whatever's happening. Doesn't mean I don't care about the world. It's just that I can interact with the world as the beingness then. I'm not pulled every which way by my mind and whatever resulting emotion comes with that.
Mm. Yeah, I was listening to another teacher once, and they said they don't meditate anymore. This is as if they got it, and they don't need to meditate anymore. So practice. I'm going to
I
practice.
went through a stage, I'm not criticizing any other teacher, but I will tell you, I went through this very tedious stage of I've got it now. I don't need to do
Oh,
anything anymore. And it was an avenue or a cul-de-sac that was very tedious. And I think I was probably really annoying to be around at that time. I've got it, you know?
uh,
Luckily, I came out the other side of that. Yeah.
thank you, Helen. There's people waiting, so
Thank you so
thank you very
much.
much.
Thank you. Good to talk to you. Okay. Veronica? Hola.
Ay,
Hi.
hola Helen.
Mhm.
Eh, Dos preguntas. Pareciera que dices que, que algo está observando a lo que llamamos ser.
The first
Y,
question is about, it seems that you say that we are observing what we call being.
y la segunda pregunta sería, ¿cómo no convertirlo en un objeto?
The second question would be, how do we not convert it into an object?
So let me answer both of those questions at the same time. If we ask ourselves, what is it that's recognizing beingness? If right now we notice a sense of being, how do we know that sense of being is here? What is it that's recognizing that?
Las palabras se quedan cortas.
Words
Podría
pass a
ser la
bit.
conciencia o el silencio.
It could be either awareness or silence.
And is awareness different to beingness or silence? Is it different? Is there silence and beingness?
No, no.
So silence, awareness are just names for beingness. Beingness is another name for awareness. So if beingness is recognizing itself by itself, it's not an object, it's not someone looking at beingness. It's beingness recognizing its own capacity to be self-aware, recognizing its own capacity to recognize.
A veces tengo la sensación que en algún momento surge una sensación de identidad o un sentido de identidad.
Sometimes I feel a sense of identity appears.
And that too is also observed by beingness, isn't it?
Ah, vale.
Sometimes
Vale.
there's a little I and sometimes not. And then it comes back and then it's gone. And all the time the beingness is watching this little I that's trying to do something. It's not a it's not a problem for beingness, is it? Whether identity is there or not, beingness is the same.
Vale. Porque a veces tenía la sensación que me interfiere este sentido de ser. No me preguntaba, ¿cómo se arma en mi mente esto, el yo, digamos?
Sometimes I thought this was an interference. How is this sense of I built in my mind?
Interference, did you say, Olga?
Yes.
Okay. Does it matter how does it matter how a non-existent entity appeared? Do we need to work out how this separate sense of self arose if it's just a feeling? And do we need to try to get rid of it if it's just a feeling? Can we find it? Can you find it?
Claro, me ayuda eso que dices de que es un objeto no existente.
It's it's helpful when you say it's a non-existing object.
Because the mind says, what do I do about this sense of someone when it arises? How do I get rid of it? How do I stop it arising? Which seems like a very important question until we realize it's not actually there. It's just a thought, some thoughts in our head and some emotions and contractions in the body. But none of those are a person, they're just sensations, thoughts, and emotions. So sometimes there's a feeling like I am a person, a separate being. But at all times, there's beingness too. And it's really where we're putting our attention more that's most important. The more the attention goes on to this sense of a person, the more we feel we have to get rid of it, which only makes it seem more real. And we go around chasing our own tail like a dog.
Gracias.
Wonderful. Thank you. Timo?
Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Yeah, my question is quite similar to the one before. I realized. I just was on a walk before the satsang, and I had like a negative train of thoughts. Kind of, I was beating myself up about something I thought I did wrong, and then there was a moment where I realized that actually these thoughts don't refer to me, or the guy getting beaten up by them isn't me, or actually I didn't know who they were referring to, but it was
Say that last bit again. I didn't know who they were referring to, these thoughts.
yeah. And then
That's really big, isn't it?
yeah, I mean yeah.
Because before we would have just assumed they're referring to me, obviously. These thoughts are talking about me.
Yeah. And that was, yeah, I mean it was very interesting. And then but at the same time I got a little confused, because I then thought, if they don't refer to me, who am I then? Because it was still kind of me. I mean, it wasn't like I had dissolved. It was just that they were referring to something that I didn't know. I'm not sure what actually happened. If the thoughts like referred to something that was never there, or that I just stopped standing in the position where the thoughts were like aiming at.
Yeah.
Like I took a step behind, but then it was still me. I mean, I was still identifying with that which saw the thoughts referring to no one.
And that's the beingness, isn't it? For a long time, I thought the thoughts were talking to me. I thought I was a someone standing inside the beingness, and that the mind is talking to me. And then there's a flash of, but wait, the thoughts are happening inside me and not to me. But it still feels like me. It still feels there's a meanness to the beingness, right? It is what we've always been. It's familiar. It's so familiar that we overlook it when we recognize it, because it's just me. I'm just here, this. But there are some important differences. This big me, this beingness, cannot identify with thoughts. They're just talking inside the beingness. The mind is just talking to nobody in particular. And the beingness is just watching. And if you have this little flash for a moment of, the mind has never been talking to me, then that's a huge opening. And this thoughts are no longer the main event, they're just thoughts. Normally, when the mind talks, I really must listen because it's saying something about me that I need to know. Who are you, though? What does it feel like to just be that which the mind is just happening inside you, and it's largely unimportant. Just feeling that out now, here together. What is that like? If the mind could say literally anything, positive, negative, awful, beautiful, and you just are.
It makes me smile, but at the same time, it feels like really important to understand. So,
What if there's just one thought that says, the mind is talking to me? And when you can no longer believe that thought, there's some fundamental shift, isn't there, in that?
yeah.
And even the one who's believing the mind is talking to me, we can't actually find it when we look. It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Can you find a believer of thoughts if you look now?
No, I've been doing this like, and I never can find it. But then it's also like, okay, I can't find it. I think we talked about it the last time already, and probably it's very common. But so I kept doing it, and it never felt like I got much out of it. It was just okay, no one there, but
And then noticing what is here. What is this me, really? If it's not a someone, what really is it?
yeah, there's something, all that exists in something, or probably something is not the right word, but there's,
It's the best word we have, right? But
yeah,
we've called it beingness tonight and silence and awareness, but it just is. And as you start to see that it's not affected by anything that moves, least of all the mind. There's nothing wrong with mind. We just don't want to carry on thinking it's talking to us. It's very good, the mind, at getting through the day, remembering to lock the door and get to work on time and all of that stuff. And eventually, it will even ask intelligent questions like, who am I without thoughts? Or what am I? Just noticing that beingness, it points you to when you ask that kind of question. It's already free, isn't it, beingness?
yeah, yeah. It's strangely unmoved, or like there's no. I think
They believe a thought. Can beingness believe a thought?
no, there's actually not much it can do.
Can it identify with the body and have to disidentify?
No, and that's so confusing, I think, because who then is that I that thought the thoughts were referring to it? Or,
Could it be just another thought? This
yeah,
person, this sense of a person that's trying to reach awakening, when we really look for it, all we find are some thoughts about a person and some thoughts about what that person needs to do to reach awakening or something like that, right?
yeah. But how then is it that it seems to be gradual? Because if there's just
Is it gradual for the beingness or for the mind?
it's gradual for me, but I don't know.
But who
Yeah, probably for the mind, but then the mind, I don't know.
has let's approach it this way. Is beingness changing?
No,
Is it transcending and becoming?
no,
Is it on a spiritual pathway?
no,
Is it needing to become free?
no.
Is it trying to be more beingness? Like and be super beingness? What if all of that is in our imagination only? As shocking as that is, what if that all is imagination? I'm just here, and I've always just been here. And all the practice is to recognize that which is already free and here now.
Then what is it that is recognizing?
You tell me.
Actually, I thought it was the me, which then turned out to not be there.
And the
So
only thing we do find when we look for ourselves is beingness.
it's
It
being,
must be recognizing itself, then it must be.
and
So
still that is gradual in a, or isn't? I mean,
it's a paradox, right? In
yeah,
the unmanifest aspect of being, we can't touch it, we can't grab it. There's nothing for it to transcend or become. It's already here, it's already free. And then it takes the shape of a human being, in which there seems to be a process and progress in our awakening, and a clearer and clearer and clearer recognition. But if that human being is actually made of beingness, still nothing is really happening. Don't worry about that if it's too
yeah,
confusing, that bit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe just yeah, I don't know. I think I
Can you rest in that place, which is I am transcending all of this, getting freer, and I'm also already completely free. Do we have to pick?
no. Actually, I think I can just be there. Maybe I just wanted a little confirmation because I was because
Mhm.
I thought that should I at some point realize that the thoughts were not referring to me because I heard you speak about it, then this would also mean in a way that the meanness dissolves, but that wasn't the case, so I wasn't really sure.
The meanness has an upgrade. It realizes it's actually infinite, you could say. It still feels like me, right? It still feels like me, or I, whatever you want to call it. But it just realizes that it's so much more than it thought it was. You could say, like upgrading your phone when the old one is breaking. You just upgrade your sense of I or me to something much bigger. Now you're smiling.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose there, is there then? It's just an
No,
upgrade. Yeah,
no. Yeah, I think I can actually rest in this.
wonderful. Enjoy it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll go to Nate and then Deepa, I think it is. And then we'll leave it for tonight. Hi, Nate.
Hi, Helen. So I'm pretty sure I set myself up a couple of months ago, and I'm starting to see that I did it, but I'm still caught in it. So it's a little feels confusing. So just the scenario was my girlfriend, who's usually the culprit in these matters, uh,
No
was
comment.
at the beach, so really not available. But we sort of tentatively set up a phone call night before last. And I began thinking about things I wanted to say. And so I ended up imbuing this call with a lot of significance and a way to connect with her. But it was really just a possibility that it
Yeah.
would happen. And then about 10:15, I realized, oh no, this isn't going to happen. And I felt disappointed. And then within like 30 seconds, I was anxious.
Mhm.
And then I was like panicked and then angry at her for not caring enough to call me. So, and I could see myself going into this victim place, but I couldn't. Well, I just saw it happening. I don't know what to say. I certainly didn't like it, and I did blame her, and I sent sort of an angry text. And I thought, what is this about? I thought my intention was to have this phone call to connect, and what I actually ended up doing is pushing her away. Why would I do that?
Did you do that?
Hmm. Well, I'm blaming myself for screwing up. So did I do it? Well, I understand it happened. So yes, you're exposing the fact that I am blaming myself for doing something.
Hmm.
And you're saying, look again, didn't you really do it?
Yeah.
I think I'm a little too emotional about it, still a little too rattled to really see that.
Can you prove to me that you did anything in this? And of course, you would prefer a different outcome. Of course, you would. But what if that outcome is only possible if we actually look and see if we're doing anything here? There
You
were
said,
thoughts, there were emotions, there were text messages, there was the absence of a phone call. Can you prove that you did any of that?
doesn't seem like I can prove I did any of it. Still feels like I've got some control over reacting this way and setting myself up.
But not from a place of doing, from a place of seeing. Now
Yes, okay.
let's zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, yes,
Remember.
okay. I got that.
So now let's remember that you are both bodies in this. You are that body, Nate, and also hers as well.
Hmm.
So bigger perspective. And this one talking here
Yeah.
too.
Okay, if I looked at it that way, I can see beauty in this, like a
Mm.
beautiful teaching.
What's the teaching in this then? What's happening with this?
And what's the teaching in this? on one level, it's maybe more concrete. It's clear to me I set this up. That this wasn't, I set myself up, or it was like you say, there's this deeper belief, these deeper beliefs are the core to the separate self. So I have this conscious intention, but then it's like overridden by this deeper, in this case, I don't matter, or I'm not safe. So this episode occurs to make me uncomfortable enough to go look, maybe, and see.
Yeah, and now shift perspective to her perspective. Imagine what happened for her during this period, whatever as best you can with that. Because what we want to do is just open up a bigger perspective. Can you still blame yourself if you were both pieces of this puzzle?
Oh,
All blame is in separation, isn't it? Blame can only occur if you take the stance of just one body and mind. This is all I am.
I can see when I include her that it's bigger, and I can feel a softening,
Mm.
but I'm still not quite shaking the belief or the hope. I can figure out a better way to handle this so I don't keep setting my.
And don't drop that. Keep that desire for a better manifestation. But recognize it belongs to both bodies,
Okay.
not just one.
Because what you said to the previous caller was you can be both becoming and that which never becomes.
Yeah.
So this includes both of us.
It's not your fault, and it's not your desire as separate being, right? It is something manifested, and out of that, between these two bodies,
Yes.
there's a desire that arises for something much more preferable. But if you
Okay.
go back into separation then and say, yes, but I need to make sure this doesn't happen again, you can feel the contraction in that because that's coming from
Yes, that's fear.
identification, right?
Okay. Yes.
So now just let's play with a bigger picture. What would an even better outcome to this be? Maybe we can just take a moment to imagine next time there will be a phone call and it will be maybe a little challenging conversation, but both body minds leave that phone call feeling, I really let go of something there. Or
Yes.
yeah.
I think what you're saying, I'm coming closer to being able to catch this as it's happening rather than hours later or a day later or that.
Yeah.
So that
And
during the
just
phone call.
just a moment now of not being a separate being and holding this desire as both body and minds. It has to manifest.
You're saying it's fine to have the preference, the desire to have something more harmonious.
You'll have even more preferences without the separation because there's a knowingness that it must and can arise. If it's,
That must, what?
it must
Kind
and
of,
can arise.
you said as I'm more aware of if there's less separation, there'll even be more of these preferences arising
More desires, more
or
preference,
desires.
because they can finally move. If they're not my
Ah,
desire, if I don't have to make it
um,
happen,
okay.
it's just the beingness using these two bodies to experience something, and from that, a desire is born for something even better.
Hmm.
Life is always moving that way, but we stunt that growth, we halt the progress because we take it as my desire and my fault, separate being, right?
I'm sort of understanding this, but I'm still seeing, I had a desire for a phone call to happen that was very unlikely to happen in that way.
How do you know?
Well, the odds were not in the.
Says who?
You're saying the desire for that connection was in and of itself not wrong. Okay, I guess I can see that.
What
It's
we
when it didn't
all
happen that I freaked out.
didn't happen yet. Can you say with certainty that it's over, that it's finished, it's closed?
Oh, no, not at all. The
Now
deeper phone call is definitely going to happen.
perfect. So just feeling the desire, feeling the preference for what you really want, and watching what happens.
To be okay with the desire, still get more caught here, but not having it show up at that time in that way.
Yeah, can we really be so arrogant as to say it has to happen at 2:45 p.m. on a Thursday?
Well, I was that arrogant.
We've all been there. Yeah.
I
But
think next time I will understand that this is. Would you agree that I was sort of setting myself up for a fall here? That was because I ended up thinking, I don't matter. She doesn't care about me.
I don't agree with that at all.
Huh.
I passionately disagree with that.
I thought you told me that in the past, so I've misconstrued something.
It's okay.
You
What I
don't?
see is two bodies, the beingness using two bodies to deepen the amount of love that's able to emerge. That's what I see. And for the manifestation to increase, there's a little friction first, and then there's an expansion. The
Hmm.
friction generates the desire, and if the desire is allowed, the manifestation immediately blossoms into something fuller.
The desire for an expansion of the love, depth,
That's
connection.
really what we want, isn't it? More intimacy with ourselves. Sometimes through another body mind, sometimes more intimacy with what this already is here, but it's really the same.
Really the same intimacy between us and intimacy with myself.
Yeah. The self, the beingness is playing with a relationship as a relationship to
Hmm.
allow itself to work out
Hmm.
uh, and release any limitations on that.
Okay. So from that perspective, whether or not I get this figured out and nail it down with you right now may not be that
Yeah.
important.
And whether or not the phone call happens is really quite irrelevant. It has to manifest somehow that there's a closer, if we allow that desire as a closer intimacy. It's already beginning now. There's more intimacy with that body mind, isn't there?
Yes. I mean, I'm getting a closer, sooner look at how this body mind operates.
Just don't take personal responsibility for
Right.
failure.
So just help me with this one configuration. I thought what I learned from you. So the separate self has these handful of core beliefs we all share. I'm not safe. I don't matter. And as long as those are operating, my experience will be in alignment with those.
The moment you recognize the beingness, you are out of the zone of karma. It does not exist. No beliefs exist. The moment you go back to thinking of yourself as a separate being, all these beliefs are suddenly active again.
including that whole construction about core beliefs, so creating something I don't want.
Yeah.
So I can drop even that.
Everything. I'd recommend everything. Dropping everything.
Because that was the biggest teaching you gave me, so say goodbye to that. All right, I'm going to listen to this again.
Wonderful to talk to you as always.
Nice talking to you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll finish with Deepa.
Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Yes, I'm quite new to the Sangha.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you about a little bit similar theme to some of the other questions we've had today. So I was just sitting and doing some contemplation because I often feel like a contraction in my throat, and sorry, I'm a bit anxious.
It's okay. It's okay. You're doing great. Take a nice deep breath if you want to. Just take a moment just to, there's no rush.
Okay. And my heart's really pounding.
You should have seen me when I first started teaching. You could see my legs under this desk that this laptop is on. They'd be jiggling up and down all the time. Not so much these days, but
yeah. Yeah. So I get, normally I feel a contraction in my throat and my face and my nose actually, and I always feel like that this separate sense of me is there somehow. I don't know if it's true or
you can feel it, right? It's the jaw is like really clenched and the shoulders are like
yeah,
this, you know.
yeah,
Everything is, you know.
but so when I was sitting just contemplating, and I was writing actually, and I don't normally write, but it was helpful to write what I was feeling, and then so it felt like I was suffering because I didn't like, I didn't like what was happening in this moment, and then then I've been following your teachings for the last 3 weeks, and I, so there was awareness and beingness, and then I realized, well, that doesn't really, that doesn't care, So, but then, and then I asked, well, who is it that cares, or who's suffering, and as everybody else said, you can't really find that person, the one that's like, it's not there. But what I was going to say is, I'm still suffering. So I don't know what that is. They're still suffering.
Let's look again together now and see if we can find the sufferer, the one who's suffering. And everyone here on the satsang can join in as well. Let's look for the one that suffers. Can we find it? Take your time with this.
I can just feel contractions in my cheeks and my throat.
And what is it that's noticing those contractions?
Well, that's me.
And are you a form or formless, the one that's noticing?
Sometimes I'm formless. And then sometimes I'm like the contraction and the formlessness.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, then I don't know what that, then I get lost. Then I don't know what to do with that stuff.
So, which is here first, the formlessness or the contraction?
Mm. Well, I'm here first, and I think if I were really honest, then I have to say that I'm more formless, and then the contraction
Hmm.
comes and goes, and like, yeah.
It can't be only what you are, this contraction, because it's coming and going. It's not there at night time in sleep. If
Mm.
you were under an anesthetic, you wouldn't notice the contraction. They would. So formlessness is first aspect of what you are. And is
Yeah.
it changing, this formlessness? Is it coming and going?
No, it doesn't come and go, but I don't notice it during the day. I notice it when I'm sitting in meditation or I'm listening to satsang, and then it's really obvious, and I go, yeah, like this is it, and I it's going to be with me, but it's not. It's gone, and then it feels like it's just, and I don't know where I get. I don't know what happens. Just maybe I go off to dreamland or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's look at this formlessness. Can it go somewhere? Can it disappear? Right now,
Mm. No.
attention is on the formlessness, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if attention suddenly, if there was a noise in the room next to you, for
Mm.
example, attention would go to that noise. It would listen through the ears.
Mm.
But has the formlessness gone anywhere in that?
No, when I'm sitting inquiring, I know it can never go. But the moment I'm not inquiring, it's not. It's
So I've got a special assignment for you this next week, okay?
okay. Yeah.
And if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
you can do it for the rest of your life,
Okay. Yeah.
which is a very long time. Um, if you can see in your inquiry that formlessness cannot go anywhere,
Yeah.
then when it seems to go away,
Mm.
do nothing about it.
Okay.
You can just go, not true. I'm going to make no attempt to get back to formlessness because I have seen that it cannot really go. This
Yeah.
must be just an experience.
Mm.
And I know it's not true
Okay.
because the formlessness seems to go as the attention turns back towards a thought or an emotion or some other phenomenon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in our attempt to get back to formlessness,
Mm.
we're kind of really emphasizing that it's not there. I need to get it back. And that creates an artificial sense of division that really
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
And I beat myself up about it as well. So, yeah.
So your instruction is, and everyone who wants it, that when the formlessness seems to go, you be spiritually unemployed. You do nothing
Okay.
to get it back. You go, okay, so be it.
Okay.
Right? It's really, really easy. It's like the mind says, we have to do something. We must get it back.
Yeah.
And you say, not today, thanks.
Mm.
How does that feel?
Um, not not so good because I feel like I want it all the time.
So you have you ever had have you ever had oh no, that's not a good example. Have you ever had an itch that if you scratch it, you know it's gonna
Yeah.
start to bleed?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna give an example when I was a teenager and I used to have spots.
Yeah.
But yeah. Don't translate that one, Pilar, please. Um, so knowing that if you scratch this, it's just going to really not be good. You
Yeah,
just have to let it itch, right? When the
yeah,
mind says, gotta do it, gotta do it,
yeah,
gotta get some,
yeah,
and you just do nothing in that moment.
yeah.
And the formlessness will immediately present itself as silence or presence or beingness, whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
It's only our attempt to get it back
Mm.
or get back there that makes it
Right.
seem absent.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like then it feels like, well, I will only experience formlessness when I'm meditating or contemplating. Is that not true then? Or do you think it'll appear by itself at other times? Or,
It will just be seen to be here all the time, more and more, still here, still here,
mm,
still here,
yeah.
even in the train station, even in the airport, even in the office,
Mm,
still here. And then at some point, there's a little tiny quiet shift
mm,
where the one who's looking for it
mm,
disappears.
yeah.
And then there's just formless being,
Yeah.
and a body running around inside it. You're smiling now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you're right. Yeah.
It's because we want awakening so badly.
Yeah.
At the moment it seems to disappear, this beingness, we do everything we think we can to get back to it.
Mm,
We're so devoted to truth.
yeah.
Now we have to be devoted to the truth that it never goes.
Mm. Just one more question there. Sometimes it's like I can see the contraction is small and I'm big, like then other times the contraction is overwhelming and I can't even the I'm not even there. Like the awareness isn't even there.
How do you know the contraction is present if you're not there?
Oh yeah. But I can't sense it then because it's almost like it takes up the whole space and there might be like a little rim, or not even a rim, that you can, yeah.
But still, even then,
Mm,
you see, you're aware of this huge contraction. Awareness is still here, beingness is still here.
yeah. It's just not noticeable then.
Is it? Because if you come back to the formless being, is it a
Mm,
feeling or is it a knowing?
yeah. It's a knowing, yeah.
So there's even a knowing of the
Yeah.
immensity of this contraction that seems to take
Yeah.
up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Still, there's a knowing of the contraction. There's
Yeah.
something that sees it, right?
Yes.
Can
Yeah.
never be absent.
No. And then it's really hard to know what the sufferer is in that because when that happens, when there's a contraction, I'm suffering. But
What is suffering, really, if we look at it? It is some kind of physical contraction,
yeah,
some kind of negative emotion,
yeah.
and
I
some
can identify emotion with it sometimes because I think I've worked on negating my thoughts so much that I don't know, the emotion isn't there so much now. It's just this sensation overwhelming.
if there's sensations and thoughts and maybe emotions,
Yeah,
contractions, does that equal a sufferer?
yeah,
Are they just thoughts, sensations, contractions?
yeah. That's the confusing part because it's like, and you can't do anything because there is no sufferer, but I'm suffering. Like it's just weird.
You do what I said,
Yeah.
right? Whenever that itch comes, don't scratch it.
Okay.
If you scratch it, forgive yourself immediately
Okay.
and just ask for another opportunity to apply it.
Okay.
It'll become very obvious whether there's a sufferer or not.
Okay.
And then next time in satsang, you'll be telling me, oh my God. Yeah.
So,
Wonderful to talk to you.
thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, that's a very rich and fulfilling way to finish our satsang this evening. And very grateful to all of you for opening and sharing so that we can all learn and deepen together. And including this body mind, I think that I get more out of satsang than perhaps anyone or everyone together. So I will see you next time. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Helen.
Okay.